Okay, hatboro-horsham. Here we are. I'm going to give you some, some help on some techniques. I'm just going to restrict it to this portion of the fretboard. We'll go down here, and even after class is done, as you progress and work on this over the summer and fall and rest of your life. I will give you, just to keep extending this on strings 1 and 2. Then we'll get into strings 3 and 4. See, it just never ends. So, vibrato. That's vibrato. Vibrato means I'm just constantly wavering that string, stretching and release, stretch, release, stretch, release. And it's done by digging your finger in and essentially moving it up and down to get this sound. That's vibrato sound, and that's really good sound because that can give you see, just very sparse, but that little vibrato makes that sound spooky or something, right? So, and that's blues. So you want to master vibrato. Vibrato all over the place. Vibrato all over the place, just to get that technique down, and very as closely associated to that is a slide. So I'm sliding that string 2, fret 3, around fret 3, fret 2, but it doesn't really matter. It's just so I get that movement, and then I can pick it up with the vibrato. So vibrato, hammer-ons and trills. Hammer-on is and the hammer-on is going from, I got string 1, fret 2 down, and I go excuse me, I'm giving you a pull-off there instead of a pull-off is the opposite of a hammer-on. I can go from string 1 to fret 2 on a hammer-on. And that's hammer-on. I'm just going from string 1, fret 2 to string hammering on. It means I hit this note, this F sharp note, string 1, fret 2, and as that's ringing, I come down to the G note right next to it in this case, and just make a little phrase like that. The opposite of that would be, and when I'm actually doing a double pull off on that, is I start with the note on string 1, fret 3, that's a G note. I hit that, and then as that's ringing out, I actually pull that string away, let it ring against this F sharp, and then I hit string 1 open. And what I did, I just slid down to the E to finish off that phrase. So I have a pull off here, string 1, fret 3 to fret 2, and then string 1 open, and I come down to it, boom, boom, at string 1, fret 2, the E note. And that is another little phrase. I'm developing little phrases. They're like little sentences when you play. That's what's really important. You're not just playing. You're just not playing up that scale. It's how you accent these phrases and the ones that you pick and how you highlight them and make it an interesting sound. So that's a hammer-on and a pull-off. So, and a hammer-on And let's just look at a couple things that you can do in here. You have a little box here, open, string 1 and 2, and fret 2 at string 1 and 2. Both of those are bendable notes. So that's another thing that you can do. And you hear that? Now it's another, I can move down here. Actually, you can bend most of these. You can bend the note at fret 3. We'll talk about what you're actually doing when you bend it at class. So I can also bend. So you get that type of sound. I can come up here to fret string 2, fret 3, and I can bend at fret 2, right here. And I'm playing, and then I bend this up, and come back here, either released or still bent, and then slide it down to that E to close out that phrase again. See how I'm closing out all the phrases with the E's? And you can hear like there's a finality to it. That's a target note. That's a great target note. You want to go to that E, particularly starting off to end your phrases. And I'm going to come down here just to this next little box at strings 1 and 2 at fret 3 and strings 1 and 2 at fret 4. And down here we have a bend. I can bend string 1, fret 5, just bend that up a little. And then I'm going up here to finish off this phrase to string 1, fret 3, and then closing it off with a vibrato at string 2, fret 5 at that E note again. That's my target note to close out that phrase. And that's those 3 notes, and the bend. I'm just fooling around with it. And you know, alternate the time signature. But those notes, you fool around, you get a lot of stuff there, and then bring in this D right here, which is the 7th in E. Hear how that just float that back. Now, I'm just going to close this video with saying you can do the same thing when you get to the A. You play those very same notes. Let's try it. I'm going to start right down, just going to play right what I showed right here at fret 3 and fret 5 in E. So I'm in E. Now to the Now back to the E. To the B, A. So there's just a couple little techniques and a couple little things that you can try with bends, with slides, with vibrato, to now really start phrasing and accentuating what you're trying to say on the guitar. And I'll see you on Wednesday.